I think at first they may brush it off, but as time goes on, they may start to notice us and may ask what one of us is doing.
People are going to get kind of weirded out that someone's so close to them and ask, like, what are you doing here? Or like, did you want something?
My hypothesis is awkwardness. People are going to give me a glance over look, and then they're probably going to try to go about their day.
He noticed us when we sat down, and then I think he just was trying to focus on his work, and he figured we'd leave or explain ourselves at some point.
You could tell that he was noticing our presence more and more.
It seems like some people had bigger personal space bubbles depending on what setting they were in. So like people at a table, you just have to sit at the table and you're in their personal space bubble. When we did leave and we hadn't explained ourselves, then he started talking to us. The first person that I went up to was on her phone, so she just ignored me, and I kind of thought she was going to keep ignoring me.
She noticed your presence, but she was talking with someone else on her phone, so she kind of ignored it for a bit. Then she finished her conversation on her phone.
The people at the computer, there's other computers nearby, so you have to get a lot closer because they're used to having someone at the next computer down or something.
They try to ignore it as most as possible until it becomes too uncomfortable for them to handle.
And then she was like, "Did you want something?" And she seemed kind of angry, so I told her what I was doing and I left. Am I starting? I guess. So the area we did
Was
Canisius in general, mostly like the more public areas.
Such as the library and the quad.
Doing it on campus made it more uncomfortable for us personally because it's people we might see again. Like, oh, that's that person that I like freaked out. Hi.
The ages typically on campus are like 18 to 23, male and females.
We had mostly students, but we also had one employee, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
He kind of saw you there, so he thought you was another student walking by.
It seemed like he thought I was waiting for him to get out of the way, which is probably because a lot of people wait for him to get out of the way when he's cleaning the halls, so that was a reflex.
When he got to a stopping point, he realized he was still there.
He kind of laughed it off, like less uncomfortable, because when you're looking on your peers, it's a lot more uncomfortable when they're staring at you, but if it's like younger people looking at older people, it seems a little expected.
They probably thought I was going to sit somewhere else because I was texting on my phone. And when I sat next to her directly, she kind of glanced over at me. Out of all the empty tables, I picked the one she was sitting at, and the guy who was on the phone seemed kind of weirded out that I sat right there. He was having kind of an intense conversation.
They just kind of ignored her and kept going on with what they were doing. Ignoring people who get too close to you seems to be a common trend, which is weird because normally if someone's closer to you or something's closer to you, I feel like you should pay more attention to it.
person is doing will also determine how much they pay attention to you. Like,
Yeah.
if they're doing something that's kind of really important, like a major homework assignment or preparing for an exam, they'll tend to ignore you a little more.
We haven't met a person who liked their personal space being violated, but everyone tried to remain respectful.
To their peers.
Yeah, to their peers, because they don't want confrontation. Most people don't.
Even your friends, you give them their personal space, just they get less mad when you violate the
Right.
Because it's like front stage, backstage.
When you're out in public, you tend to like follow the rules, be more respectful, but when you're by yourself, you tend to be in your own world and do your own thing.
Like when you're with your friends backstage, if you violate their personal space, it's weird, but it's okay because
Right.
they've been close to you before, you might have like hugged or something, so they're not freaked out.
I started to slide over just a little bit more, and I noticed the girl kind of like got softer in her conversation.
Like the closer you get, the more they ignore you, which is really weird.
The person sitting on the wall is actually a friend of mine, and I didn't realize that till we got closer, which was funny. The explanation could just be laughed off instead of, why is this random stranger here?
The guy kept trying to ignore me, and then I like scooted over a little bit more, and the girl, she started getting a little bit less outspoken because I got there.
I feel like people that you know tend to laugh, whereas when you get close to strangers, they like clam up, but in both cases, it's just a sign that they're really uncomfortable.
And then when I sat on the wall, I kind of like bumped into the guy, and he looked over like, hello. It made the situation pretty awkward.
We're so territorial as people. People do not like their personal space violated.
What we expect.
I was kind of surprised by how few people said anything. Hardly
Yeah.
anyone said anything.
Yeah. Well, I kind of figured that no one would, because like, especially on campus, Kenesha students, I feel like they're so laid back that it wasn't like really a big deal. But I mean, when the girl had spoke to you after she got off the phone, I figured like she was kind of like pissed off on her
Yeah.
conversation. So like, if you go to somebody who's already like upset, you might get the end of the stick.
And there's also like the fear you're gonna get robbed or beat up or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of fear when it comes to like strangers in your personal space. The whole idea is it's a free country. We'll say it like this: like the tables are no one's property, the chairs are no one's property but Kenesha's. And if I am a Kenesha student or I'm someone who can have this seat, then I can. It's just a matter of like an unspoken rule where if you see other seats that are not too close to mine, then you take those.